Dave Ramsey, the OG triple OG of personal finance. Does his plan hold up today, or is there a better way? Bars. What's up, guys? It's Jake from Money Talks, and in today's video, we're going over Dave Ramsey's 7-step wealth building plan he calls the baby steps.
The shortest distance between where you are now and wealth.
Now, today there's a lot of influencers and personalities online giving financial advice, and I would put it into a category of needs. But undoubtedly, the most influential and recognizable name in personal finance is Dave Ramsey. And Dave's been giving financial advice since before I entered the world, so he's been doing it a while. But I wanted to go over Dave's 7 steps for building wealth to see if they still make sense in today's world. And this is in no way bashing Dave. Regardless of whether I agree or disagree with the baby steps, Dave Ramsey and his advice has helped millions of people get out of debt and build some level of wealth. Now let's look at the baby steps one by one. Baby step number 1. Build a 1-month starter emergency fund. This is probably the step that Dave gets the most flack for. And the common criticism is that $1,000 is just not enough. And well, it's not. $1,000 isn't a bad starter emergency fund, but in my experience, many people I've talked to saved up that $1,000 and then run into emergencies that add up to more than that. So they end up further behind than they started. I typically recommend a 1-month emergency fund to start. Just add up all necessary expenses for 1 month and make sure you have that much available for emergencies. Baby step number 2. Pay off all debt except your mortgage. Now this is the big one. Dave Ramsey has a burning hatred for debt, and I don't necessarily feel that strongly about it. It is true you can leverage debt on assets to create cash flow and perhaps build wealth faster than you otherwise would be able to. However, debt does increase risk, regardless of how you use it. Most people have no idea what they're doing with debt and by depreciating assets or liabilities. And the ones that try to use quote unquote good debt often over leverage themselves, which Dave Ramsey actually did in his 20s. And he talks about that. For most people, I would recommend to just stay away from debt in general. This step gets a thumbs up from me. Dave likes the snowball method to pay down debt, which is fine, but the avalanche method works better if you're a numbers or logistical type of person. By the way, guys, if you need help building a personal financial plan, DM me on any of the socials at Money Talks Jake for help organizing your finances and taking control of your money. Baby step number 3. Build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. This is pretty standard advice from most financial experts, and I also liked it in the Ramsey plan. Building a full emergency fund takes a back seat while you're paying off that crippling debt. The only thing I'd add is if your income is less stable, you may want a larger reserve of cash in case you lose your job or business. That might look like 9 or even 12 months of expenses saved. Baby step number 4. Invest 15% of your household income into retirement. Okay, so retirement accounts are by far the best ways to start investing. Tax advantaged accounts like your 401k or your Roth IRA should be your go-to to start. However, I believe the total amount you're saving and investing should be at a minimum 25% of your income. There's also some nuance with pre and post-tax money, so this is gonna look different for everyone. But the bottom line is once you have an emergency fund, investing should be a top priority. Baby step number 5. Save for your kids' college. Obviously, if you don't have kids, you don't have to start saving for other people's kids. You can just invest more. And for those of you with kids, I think it's a great goal for you to help out. But make sure you're not giving up your own financial stability or growth to pay for your kids' college. Okay, so when you're on the airplane, the flight attendant tells you beforehand, if this plane goes down, put your oxygen mask on first and then help others with theirs. You are no good to anyone if you don't first take care of yourself. That's with everything, including money. Baby step number 6, pay off your home early. Now, I'm not against paying off a home early, but I think you gotta look at the numbers and ask yourself, is putting additional money towards your personal residence worth it versus investing that extra money in its place? Often the answer is no. I also think we gotta put this one in context. Dave only recommends a 15-year fixed rate mortgage on a house. So the goal of paying off that home is usually more reasonable. And finally, baby step number 7. Build wealth and give. This is why we're all here for real. I like Dave Ramsey's approach to personal finance. Are you going to become rich following these baby steps? Probably not. But I'll tell you what, If you're someone who's deep in debt or just does not have a handle on your personal finances whatsoever, the baby steps will work to get you back on track. If you're someone who doesn't want to make a ton of money and just wants to build enough wealth to be comfortable in retirement or help out those who you care about, the baby steps will work. Now, is there better ways to go about things on paper? Yeah. Paying off your home early or snowballing your debt may not make the most sense by the numbers. However, if your issues with money are emotional and psychological, the baby steps may be the best thing for you. Overall, I like that Dave Ramsey's plan emphasizes getting out of debt and building a strong financial foundation before doing anything else. And you can watch this video right here to learn how to stay out of debt in the first place. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.